This week on Lemon's Car Spotting.
Hey, it is Nick and Eric. This is Lemon's Car Spotting. We're going to pick a Lemon's build. We're going to pick a hooptiest. You guys know the deal. Let's go. All right. First up, I saw it in the thumbnail, and I thought for sure there's no way this isn't a Nissan Altima coupe, because this is the kind of thing that Nissan Altima owners would do. But of course it isn't. It's a Mercury Cougar, early 2000s. We talked about this car in the context of being a hot car in Muncie, Indiana, with the Wings Midwest body.
That's right.
And exhaust. Yeah. And I believe that there was a YouTube commenter from Muncie who says, you guys are totally underestimating the Muncie scene, man. Which, okay, maybe we are. I don't know. But in any case, this is a fine Lemon's car. So is the C4 Corvette behind it. I know you might say $500 my ass, but we've seen plenty of C4s. And you know what? None of them have actually won a race.
Yeah, amazing how the finest sports car coming out of Detroit has never won a Lemons race. To this point, with the Wings Midwest, we did have on the Lemons iRacing League, somebody made a Wings Midwest car. I think it was a Jetta, but it was amazing.
That's
so
great.
well done. And I love the braille tail lights on this with the bumps.
Very nice. Touch on that. It adds texture. All right. Yeah. Next up.
Oh, speaking of General Motors, man, that is a hard-lived Chevy Camaro there from the 80s. Just reading the caption from Compact Spots. Well done, by the way. This is a 4-cylinder Iron Duke Chevy Camaro. Wow. One of the most befuddling cars I think that was ever built. I mean, I guess at the time the Mustang had a 4-cylinder that was sold as an economy car, but the Camaro weighed like another 400 pounds. So this probably borders on dangerously slow, which is not what you want to hear from a pony car, I guess.
Oh, man. Well, and the Iron Duke is worse than the Lima 2.3 as a 4-cylinder. We've covered that on other episodes of Lemon's World on this channel. I'm not sure what they were trying to achieve there, but hey, car still lives, so that's good.
Yeah. Haven't had an Iron Duke one in Lemons.
Oh, God. Iron Dukes hold up okay in Lemons. You know what doesn't hold up okay is the Chrysler Cab Forward LH Series V6. We've had like 2, and we kind of joked around like, hey, man, that thing's not going to run. And then they don't. And then we sort of feel bad for the team. This, of course, is the executive limousine version, which... I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't look worse or less classy than a town car limousine. When, of course, it is worse and less classy. But front-wheel drive cars make a certain amount of sense for a limo conversion because you don't have to run a 17-foot-long drive shaft. I get that. Plus, this one's got chrome wheels, Vogue tires, or as we call it here in Oakland, mustard and mayonnaise, and overall looks really clean. I kind of like it.
Yeah, the series of decisions leading up to this must have been fascinating, and I think, man, it must have been an early one of these. Somebody had an Intrepid limo. I mean, there was the previous generation of this. I remember that it was spotted in upstate New York. This one coming from Philip von Wiedershausen in the Bay Area somewhere, which this is a very Flint, Michigan kind of thing. So to see it in the Bay Area, kind of befuddling.
Yep. It's out of its element. Next up.
Is this it's so far gone, you can almost not tell if it's a Ranchero or an El Camino.
Yeah.
It is an El Camino, one of the early ones. Kind of a cool design. I've always liked these with the way that they kind of use the rounded rear fender on the bed, and then like the fin was the top piece of the bed. I always thought that really kind of cool and trick. This one obviously parked behind the shed, probably within a couple years of the shed being built, and now has an ecosystem growing in it. Great way to find a Lemons car, by the way, in the middle of a hedge.
Yeah.
We've never had an El Camino this old. Haven't had very many cars of any kind this old in Lemons. So even if you took the body panels and slapped them on a 4-cylinder Camaro, for example, you're pretty far ahead of the game.
I just want to comment on a couple of the comment / caption here. This is from Southern Ohio Backroads Cars, where he says, "Business in the front, bushes in the back." Which I like. And then I'm not sure if this guy is being ironic, but Sled Rider 53 says, "It's probably a rust bucket by now." Tear face emoji, and I'm not sure whether he's. Like by now, I mean, like I think what you see is what you get here, Sled Rider 53. But in any case, excellent submission.
Yeah, the nose being all the way to the headlights in the ground, kind of a giveaway.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna stay in the American car in the bushes theme, not quite as much in the bushes. This one, this is some kind of a 60s Chrysler, full-size deal. I don't know my different models. They had about 1 million different options and engines and whatnot. But as all 60s Chryslers, they've got some style to them. This one has a for sale sign on it that looks about as old as the bushes growing around it. So, again, the kind of thing where the guy's probably asking $10,000. And if you showed up with $400 in a 6-pack of Old Milwaukee, you'd be going home with it. And then you'd be racing it in Lemons. So, definitely the kind of thing you want to knock on the door and see if you can grab it and turn it into a Lemons car, because it would look amazing.
Man, I gotta say, I've never seen one quite from this angle. But if you cut this thing off at the firewall, you could have like a nice outdoor dining area because of how flat the fender top is.
Yeah, sure. El Patio.
There you go.
Man. Yes.
Oh man. GM heavy this week. I guess it's actually all American cars now that I look at the list. But boy, we're ending on a high note here with the Shrek donked out bubble Caprice.
Yeah,
I guess it's maybe an Impala 601, really.
Yep.
What do you say about these? I'm always fascinated by just trying to put my head in the space where somebody looks at one of these and decides it needs to be Shrek. And not even Shrek. It looks like there are baby Shreks all over it. Mystifying. All of it mystifying.
Yeah, I'd seen these, the sort of branded donks, and people on the internet who just can't wrap their heads around it. Always say are you being paid for it by that company? I don't understand why you do. These are the same people that do stupid cosmetic modifications of a different sort to their own cars. They probably have their Instagram handle in the sticker in the window, or worse yet, first initial last name for their 911 track car. Yeah. That is in no way better than putting Shrek on the side of your bubble Caprice.
I was going to go with the lifted by 2 feet Ford F450 with the Black Rifle Coffee logo on the back window and Kelvin pissing on the Chevy logo. So,
right.
Which is still a thing, I guess. But 601, it's the exact same thing.
Oh, man. Yeah. Tactical coffee worse than Shrek. All right. That is the last car. So I've got the hooptiest. Business in the front, bushes in the back. Making this into a Lemons car, like Sled Rider says, hey, it's probably a rust bucket by now. Sad face emoji. Something tells me if you drag this thing out, you might have to make it into a hat car using the 4-cylinder Camaro or whatever you decide. But hey, that's a totally fine route to go. We've seen it done. I know for a fact, in the works, a team in the South is in the middle of building a Ford Ranchero hat on top of a Porsche 928 chassis for Lemons. So, this is the Chevy equivalent. I don't know what you'd put underneath it. A BMW 7 Series and do battle with the 928. I don't know.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit. The world is your oyster. But as it sits, it's pretty hoopty.
Yeah, boy. Lemon's build, that's a tough one. It's got to be one of the two Mopars, right? And we've never had a 60s trapezoidal grill full-size Chrysler, which you apparently can run into a brick building and go through it with these cars. They are banned from Demolition Derby, by the way, because they do not bend in half. However, we haven't had a limo in a long time, and if we're going to get a limo again, it's got to be a Chrysler K-Car limo, LH limo. I mean, just imagine this on a racetrack, dragging ass half of it around a corner.
Yeah.
As the tires are shrieking in protest. Perfect. This needs a cage.
It would be amazing. Check with us first. There's a couple of specific turns that it might not be able to make it through. So yeah, you might not be able to run it at Thunderhill or possibly Sears through the bus stop. But definitely bring this, put a cage in it, be a hero.
That's right. Oh, I think that is going to do it for this episode of Lemon's Car Spotting. Be sure to tag your stuff, hashtag Lemon's Car Spotting, and we will talk about it here on Thursdays.
Oh, yeah. Mustard and mayonnaise for the win.
I think it still gets cable. Satellite. Whatever.